When it comes to sci-fi horror and action, one cinematic debate stands above the rest: Alien or Aliens. Two legendary films directed by two visionary filmmakers, each with a unique take on the xenomorph threat. Ridley Scott's atmospheric, claustrophobic horror, or James Cameron's explosive, adrenaline pumping action. Today we're breaking down what makes both films so iconic, why each has its diehard fans, and which one ultimately reigns supreme. From behind the scenes trivia to the impact on pop culture, we're about to dive deep into the ultimate showdown. Let's get to it. In 1979, Ridley Scott changed the landscape of science fiction with Alien. This wasn't just a sci fi flick, it was a haunted house story set in the cold, unforgiving void of space. Ridley Scott's vision was clear: isolation, fear, and a relentless, monstrous enemy. From the very first moments aboard the Nostromo, the film establishes a sense of claustrophobic dread. You feel the walls closing in as the crew of the mining ship unknowingly awakens something ancient and deadly. The alien itself was designed by the visionary artist H.R. Geiger. It was unlike anything audiences had seen before, a grotesque fusion of organic and mechanical horror. The creature's life cycle, from facehugger to chestburster to full-grown xenomorph, was both fascinating and horrifying. The chestburster scene alone is legendary, as the cast reaction were completely genuine. They didn't know exactly what was coming, so when that creature exploded out of John Hurt's chest, the terror was real. Did you know that the alien's acidic blood was conceived as a plot device to prevent the crew from simply shooting the creature? Ridley Scott wanted to make sure there was no easy way out for the characters. Originally intended to be a male character, Ripley's transformation into one of the most iconic heroines in film history wasn't just revolutionary, it was groundbreaking. Her strength and resourcefulness became the gold standard for sci-fi protagonists. Some fans argue that Alien captures a raw, realistic sense of dread that few horror movies have managed to replicate. It's a slow burn that draws you in, holding tension like a vice until the final confrontation. Fans often highlight how the atmosphere of Alien is unmatched. Its slow pace and deliberate tension buildup create an almost suffocating experience. One Reddit user put it best: Alien is a noir horror thriller, and Aliens is a blockbuster. Ridley Scott made what I consider a masterpiece, but Aliens is still James Cameron at his best, and it's a magnificent sci-fi horror blockbuster. Fast forward 7 years, and James Cameron completely flipped the script. Instead of one unstoppable creature, we got a swarm of them. Instead of a horror movie, we got a full-on war film. Aliens was more than just a sequel, it was an evolution. Cameron knew he couldn't just repeat what made Alien great, so he expanded the universe and raised the stakes. The Colonial Marines became instant fan favorites, with their camaraderie and bravado contrasting sharply with the terrifying xenomorph threat. Characters like Hicks, Hudson, and Vasquez added personality and grit to the ensemble cast. Bill Paxton's performance as Hudson gave us some of the most quotable lines in sci-fi history.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.
Its high-energy, action-packed approach that makes Alien such a thrilling ride, and for many infinitely more rewatchable than the original. James Cameron actually wrote the entire script while waiting for the go-ahead on the Terminator. Talk about multitasking genius. But Aliens isn't just about the action. At its core, it's a powerful story about motherhood and survival. Ripley's protective instincts toward Newt gave the film an emotional weight that made the final battle with the Alien Queen all the more satisfying.
Get away from her, you bitch!
And speaking of the Queen, the massive animatronic required 16 operators to bring it to life, proving once again that practical effects can be just as convincing and terrifying as CGI. Some fans argue that Aliens is superior because it's more dynamic and energetic. One Redditor captured it perfectly. Alien is more impressive as a piece of art, but Aliens is simply more fun. It's everything it wants to be: relentless, action-packed, and undeniably entertaining. So, how do these two titans of cinema stack up against each other? Let's break it down. Alien excels in building tension and using atmosphere to keep viewers on edge. It's slow, methodical, and terrifying. Aliens, on the other hand, cranks up the intensity with relentless action sequences, explosive set pieces, and a heroic battle against overwhelming odds. Alien gives us a small, isolated group, where every death hits hard. Aliens expands a roster, creating a sense of a military unit fighting together, but also falling together. Visually, both films were groundbreaking. The gritty, dirty, industrial feel of Alien versus a militaristic, battle-scarred world of Aliens. Both felt real and lived in. Some fans feel that Aliens holds up better because it's more accessible, while Alien can feel like a slow burn, especially for modern audiences. As one commenter put it, Aliens is simply more rewatchable. while Alien is a tongue-gnawing horror. Aliens is pinnacle 80s action. Both are excellent, but Aliens is such an easier watch. At the end of the day, whether you prefer Alien or Aliens often comes down to your taste. Do you like your horror slow and creeping or fast and chaotic? Both films have their place in cinema history, and both continue to influence countless movies and TV shows. From horror survival games inspired by Alien to military sci-fi thrillers influenced by Aliens, the legacy of both films remains unmatched. Some fans argue that Alien is more of a masterclass in atmospheric horror, while Aliens is a quintessential action film that stands alongside classics like Terminator 2. One thing is clear, both movies are monumental achievements, and their impact on sci-fi cinema is undeniable. So which one gets your vote? Is it Ridley Scott's terrifying masterpiece or James Cameron's relentless action piece? Let us know in the comments below.